Oh, hey guys. This is my fourth attempt at this video, so we're going to give it a red hot go, right? So overnight, we saw the 10-year Treasury yield go up by 100 basis points. In my opinion, that's bigger news than I think I'm just walking around in circles here. In my opinion, that's bigger news than the US Fed putting up the interest rates by 75 basis points. And yeah, so I think that's something to certainly keep in mind. It shows that the Federal Reserve is wanting to support the debt market, which is good in the long run, but you know, it's just going to be very, very interesting times. So as I said, the interest rate's gone up by 75 basis points. Places like Australia, which they do have variable loans and they do have fixed loans, places like Australia will see a lot of people start to struggle because, as I've said in previous videos, about 86% of mortgage debt in Australia is funded off the international money market. So they're not really following the Federal Reserve anymore because only about 14% of mortgage funds, from my understanding, is actually funded from the RBA, the Reserve Bank of Australia. And just keep in mind that the name mortgage comes from the Latin word meaning death bond. So it means that you're basically going to hold that debt or that bond until you're dead. And I think what we're going to see here is, because a lot of people have used the equity on the first, second and third property to buy the fourth and fifth, what you're going to see is complete property portfolios liquidated, because once they can't make the payment on the fourth and fifth property, what you're going to see is the banks take over the complete portfolio, because all those properties are linked together on the one debt bond. So what you're going to see is basically whole swaths of portfolios being liquidated, because banks don't want to hold debt. They want to liquidate debt, and then they'll claim the property insurance to get the rest of the money back. I think in England, in the UK, mortgages are only a 3-year or 4-year, don't quote me on this. They're only a short-term loans, so they have to be refinanced. So not sure how other countries work, but I do know Australia quite well. But so yeah, keep that in mind when you're looking at this, because you're going to see a lot of these properties liquidated. That's going to put severe financial pressure or downward pressure on property prices. And I've been saying this for a long while, and you know, I've been saying this for a very long while actually, and a lot of people have said, oh, you've been saying that for a long while, even a clock is right twice a day. And well, you know, that's just the way things are, isn't it? So but yeah, look, getting back to the point, so it looks like the Federal Reserve is actually willing to support the debt market, which is good. That's going to stabilize things for a period of time. You're probably going to see equities and Bitcoin, like cryptos, go sideways for a period of time until there's some sort of surety as to which way things are going to go. I'm still not convinced that we've reached the bottom on crypto, on Bitcoin. I'm not 100% sure on that. So, you know, I'm on the sideline. I'm not convinced. But anyway, on another note, did see Australia is struggling with power supply. You're talking about one of the biggest coal and gas producers in the world can't find enough coal and gas to fire their power stations. I mean, at what point do you ask what the heck is going on? You know, I think I've said this in a previous video, Anthony Albanese is not a strong leader. And even on international news broadcasts, you hear them sort of lampoon him as being a bit of a weak, ineffectual leader. The other thing that I'm concerned about is Penny Wong, particularly with relations and connections to foreign countries. And then you have this impromptu meeting between I think it's the Defence Minister of Australia and the Defence Minister for China. I mean, I can guarantee you that's not how it works. You don't do impromptu meetings like that. So what sort of contact or relationship do these people have? So big concerns in regards to the situation in Australia with that. So where does this sort of lead us? In my personal opinion, and you know, I could be wrong, but I doubt it. I've been saying this for a while. Wait for some sort of insurrection, some sort of civil uprising. I think you've got something really nasty brewing. So that's my personal opinion. That's what I think is coming, and as I said, I'm not espousing that. I'm just sort of saying this is where I see things going. Once things collapse and they get really difficult, I think you're going to see things become really nasty over there. So keep that in mind. Certainly not saying that Thailand is the solution, and we probably won't stay here much longer. But you know, just keep that in mind.